Okay, so I just wanted to, my last one for the day. I just wanted to, of course, speak on Chris Jericho. I actually been wanting to speak on him too. He was, among other things I wanted to speak on. And, basically another edition of what's going on in the world right now. But, because I wanted to touch on this, and I've been wanting to speak on Jericho for, wow. Wow, actually, so. Yeah, if you haven't actually done the video I just put out, like 2 hours now, hours ago. Yeah, go watch that if you haven't. It's basically me going over what we already don't know about the war right now. Yeah, like I said, this shit is the shit is definitely popping off. The war is definitely intact. It's getting wild. It's getting crazier and wilder. Yeah, like I said, you got talent. You got talent beefing, throwing shots, straight up talking shit. Like it's West versus. This reminds me of this is what the war AEW versus WWE reminds me of. Like East back when East hip hop East versus West. That whole warfare was going on right now. But yeah, it's still, like I said, yeah. So if you ever watched that, the video I just did on recent events, yeah, be sure to go check it out. Also, if y'all didn't hear me talk about it real quick, yeah, which I said I don't really actually believe. It's also because fingers are being pointed at WWE. Of course, not only has their full gear, full gear card been released, like leaked. They're saying it's being said that WWE may have been released their it's called Fast Nationals. I think I did talk about that too. As I said, I didn't know shit about, or I didn't really, as if it really matters. But yeah, the WWE has been being accused also of releasing their more info on AEW, as well as the full gear accusations too. Their event that's coming in, I think November next month. But let's touch on this, the real topic of what I'm bringing to y'all, and I hope y'all been enjoying what's been going on in wrestling right now. Yeah, definitely a time to be alive for a wrestling fiend, and overall too. Hope y'all enjoying your day. Hope y'all enjoying your Thursday. Just enjoying yourselves and kicking back completely. So I just want to talk on it because I want to make a video in the community too, the wrestling community. Like, it's fucking ridiculous. I got in, of course, a spat too. Like seriously, like these casual and these like just delusional stands is just ridiculous. Like, somebody saying like this motherfucker actually went to Google to try to like to try to disbar. Like, they were saying like Eddie Guerrero not being a draw. Like, seriously, Eddie Guerrero not being a draw. Even though he's constantly brought up, and if he, like I said, he's constantly brought up today. Okay, but he's not, he's not a draw. If it was that the fact, he wouldn't be a name in wrestling as a whole. He wouldn't be in wrestling, but he's not. He was never a draw, and as champion, shit like cracks me up. Like, what actually went to Google to try to disbar the fact that Eddie wasn't a draw and as champion. Like, straight up fucking ridiculous. Like, y'all something is really like tweaked, disbarred about y'all mindsets. Like, these casuals actually think because they whatever misinterpreted articles and from Google that they actually knows like a bit about wrestling. Fucking please. But let me like I said, let me get into the actual topic. And let me say first, like, like, I obviously not a fan especially I don't know. I haven't been rocking with Jericho for a while too. And I'll actually say like as far as I mean, he's still of course he'll still be in this switch situation. It's not like it's really like catastrophic, but well, kind of is because if you see if you saw his if you just like basically follow Jericho or if you see his comment on Tommy Dreamer. When Tommy Dreamer, he probably was Tommy Dreamer, at the when that was the trending topic at the when Tommy was in Rick, Ric Flair and the whole dark side of the ring craze was going on with Ric Flair being even though he was already pretty much everybody already knew if they haven't already like Rick being accused of sexual harassments and then Tommy Dreamer was pretty much being canceled too. So he was letting out a statement of basically an apology segment because of course you have to everybody got to even Rick got to let out an apology because of 2021 and as Tommy Dreamer let out the apology statement he said he was that talking about an apology and he was just like it was an apology statement and then Chris I was like straight up, Chris said forgiven. Like after like the whole, I dare you, he didn't even read it too. Like he had the whole. I mean, it really doesn't matter. But like, it's just a fact. It's just a fact that like Chris is like the way he said it too. When he like the Tommy Dreamer when he was saying like I said he was releasing a segment. He was an apology, and then under it, Chris Jericho put forgiven. I was like, I looked at that and I was just straight up disgusted. And I can understand from that. I can understand why he's also being, whether he's kind of ridiculed or not. Just being just like along with the, the other AEW talent or Tony Khan, or not being, recently liked because because like. I honestly think Chris is off of just that. He's just fucking really disturbing. Yeah, it's really ridiculous how he's like how he said that. But let's look at here. Shout out to Wrestling Inc. If I haven't said that before, these articles. I don't know. Damn it. But yeah, it's basically he was on a podcast. He was talking about the ratings war between AEW, WWE, Raw, and Dynamite. So, and as you saw, yeah, he's basically saying that they're on top of them when it comes to the ratings war. When they're not like I mean they said it has they have been it has been stated that they have beaten Raw recently too and not consistently but they've beat Raw and it's the first time that WWE's been beaten in like probably like over 20 years following back in 98 when Nitro was beating WWE in the ratings battle. But yeah, he's basically saying that they've been dominating Raw. Like like I said, I'll say it to y'all now too. Like when y'all have been listening to and y'all have been seeing me recently talking about it. Like when it comes to this whole, like I said, I look at this whole war too. WWE versus AEW for fun. Gets laughs out of me. Like I chuckle. Like just growing up now and just going back and coming up to a full consensus. Like I'm a geek. I'm a full blown geek for wrestling as a whole. Like I don't take sides. I don't sit back and go jump into hugs with somebody, the other side, and just start berating, the other side as a whole. Like, no, like I said, I don't. When it comes to just like, between the word two and just the whole aspect of WWE versus AEW, or just being a supporter of either one, which I'm not. Like I said, I'm just a geek of wrestling, and like I had been for years. So I don't take sides, regardless of the fact, just because it's trendy or it's cool or whichever side is better. When it comes to it, it's wrestling, and wrestling is thriving right now, and that I'm proud of. But let's get into it. Oh, sorry. But yeah, he was in a recent, of course, and I feel like they're the only one who's been actually, between Jericho and Kenny. They've been if anybody wanted to, well, it's just important. They're like kind of like the only ones. Well, kind of Punk still too. CM Punk and Jericho and Kenny Omega. That's been whenever they go on podcasts, they just straight up talk shit or drag, ridicule WWE. It's like, damn. But yeah, if that any grabbed anybody's attention. But yeah, he said that Dynamite is on top. That has been on top of Raw. When really, like I said, when it comes to also. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, when it comes also, like I said, when it comes to also, I thought my computer froze, but like I said, when it comes to also this ratings war, which could, y'all know how WWE likes to say they're the most watched, whichever, whether it's their events, their shows, their merchandise, yeah, anything they talk about or just advertise. WWE's the king of that. I think, yeah, that, like, or it's just brands, like, people just do that. Brands just do that solely. They like to bark about, or brag about how much, or just, yeah, just like they like to brag about how much, and the ads too. They like to fabricate, which it could all be fabrication. So when it comes to if you actually when you think about it, but like, yeah, like WWE's notorious for that, as far as saying their product is the most watched than any other sport, and everybody does that, whether it's sports and food brands, it's everywhere, car brands, everything, it's in everything. Like, everybody does that. They say they're the number one. Everybody says that. But yeah, Jericho says they're the best when it comes to Dynamite and Raw. They're they're kicking their ass. That we've been kicking their ass for weeks. But like I said, it's not. When you actually, I mean, their debut episode back in 2019 was like 1.4, and that's what they kind of still get right now too. Now it's like 1 million. They get like 1 million, but you could clearly see on YouTube when it goes to like the real fight, what they get. Yeah, I mean, they kind of still get 1.4, but their overall is 1 million from viewership. So I don't get, especially like, oh, like, I understand, of course, you gotta talk shit and stand up for your brands and everything like that. But yeah, this is because clearly this is really delusional. Even like I said, I don't like I haven't been a supporter or a recent geek for what WWE has been doing over the years, or of recently, other than whether it's Sasha, Bailey, or Roman Reigns or whoever I like. Yeah, I'll tune in for that. But I haven't been the utmost nicest when it comes to WWE. You know the pet. As when it comes to them as of recent, because they, like I said, if you actually believe WWE has been doing the best work since the Attitude Era, come on, you have to be fooling yourself, man. You're just a casual, delusional, in denial stand. But you actually just don't want to admit it. But yeah, I'm not gonna say it like that because like I said, like I said also, we all have our likes and dislikes, or whether because I'm actually in the things that I like too, and or whether it has to look it up to somebody, celebrity or whoever I like. Yeah, because I'm actually kind of biased towards that. But I actually, when it comes to them still too, I actually still give criticism and give my actual, authentic, honest thoughts. I don't, tread back and fall back, on my knees and beg for their approval. No, I never did that. But it just goes to show you how people will do just for the extent of attention to receive. So that's right. So yeah, he said the last 3 weeks they've been doing bigger demo numbers than Raw has ever done, which is the flagship show. Um, I think it's actually been since 2016, but overall, I don't. Well, from my thoughts, I've always think SmackDown. I've always thought, and will stand to the testament that SmackDown has always been the better show, whichever era, like Attitude, Ruthless Aggression, Attitude Era, whichever, or Raw is obviously. I mean, SmackDown's obviously been the bigger brand and the better show overall. I don't know if it's because of the. I don't know if it's because of the creative team or it's just like the talent. Well, yeah, the talent as a whole. But I just honestly believe especially when it comes to the talent and storylines, characters, like obviously SmackDown is the most, and the Attitude Era most especially. Like it was I mean, Raw had the Reign of Terror, and I mean that's kind of all they had. Even back in the Ruthless Aggression era, that's all they had going forward to where just having John Cena too on it, and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that's all they had. Like SmackDown had Brock Lesnar, and they had Batista. He was the face of SmackDown for a while in his peak. They had Kurt Angle. They had Chris Benoit. They had the Hardy Boys. I mean, yeah, they had like SmackDown, and like just going into the new era too. Like SmackDown has always been the better brand, and they actually been, if you look at it, because Roman Reigns is on there too. SmackDown, and I actually think Raw has been stopped being a flagship show since officially since 2016, but they stopped being a flagship show when I believe after the Attitude Era, or you can say whether it's since Cena, because Cena went to SmackDown in 2016. So I guess whenever you want to say if Cena went off it, because he was he's the poster boy, so you can't really say it's the flagship show. It was because of Cena, but whether it's the Attitude Era after the end of the Attitude Era, or just more official now, like it's like obviously SmackDown's been the flagship show since for 2 years, that officially too, like of 2 years because of Roman Reigns too. And you can clearly see for the views too, because SmackDown gets 2 million while Raw gets 1.4. So everybody looks forward to SmackDown because of Roman Reigns too, or just wherever he's at. But I'm just saying, like, yes, but I guess that was kind of I don't know how he's like saying that, or if he's actually been watching rest WWE. But yeah, he said I think our company came out of nowhere basically, and really exploded because of a different attitude. You can see that when you watch our shows, and you were there when we had the show at Arthur Ashe for 20K people in New York City, which is basically WWE's backyard. Oh, wait, WWE has had more. They've had more. I don't know if they have. They've obviously had events before in their New York City. Like, isn't that where also most of their stock is? It's like, is Jericho actually looking at what he's saying? He said so to draw a crowd like that and get the reception that we had. It seems to me that we are the hottest wrestling company in the world, and more importantly, we have the cool factor. I mean, okay, like yeah, one of the hot because they're second when it comes to WWE, but yeah, of course, I guess the majority. Yeah, if you follow wrestling, yeah, that you know that yeah, of course that AEW is the hottest, one of the hottest wrestling, or if you just want to say the hottest. Yeah, they're one of the hottest wrestling companies in the world right now. But in viewership, no, like barely, barely that. Like I said, when it comes to I love AEW and everything it's done, but I've been liking AEW and I love it love where AEW is going, but like I have to be you have to be realistic. We have to be realistic. Like 20K, like WWE gets more than that. Even if they pay per views, they have like over close to like damn near like 100K and like 100K in audience when it comes to audience terms. But I'm sorry, I'm looking at here like, bro, like you can't. I don't understand what Jericho's kind of point. Like, if he's like just talking about like, I guess if you want to say they're better than I guess like a roster or not. No, not really. But if you want to say like, if you just like want to say like, if he's just comparing their star power or just them, the wrestlers that the talent they have. Because like I said, like compared to the viewership, they aren't really changing a thing. Because like they have like thousands upon thousands, thousands upon thousands, and even if there are events too. So yeah, so he said when you have the cool factor in any form of a show business, whether it's wrestling, whether it's music, whether it's a TV show, people jump aboard quickly because they want to figure out what's everybody talking about here. What is all this about? AEW has that. We have changed the industry just by being in existence and focusing on something that was different from every other. Whoa, whoa, yo, you ain't just be going there a little bit too far, there, cowboy. Whoa, changed what? Yo, what is he talking about though? Like, what in turn? Well, like I said, like if you just want to compare, it, I don't know if he's just trying to talk in a point as being like compared to viewership because they haven't been winning at all when it comes to the viewership between WWE, but or if he's just trying to do that or compare the talent they have. Like, cause like I said, I'll be honest. Like, but if it's just off the just watching it on like Dynamite or because Rampage is not really that good. It's not good at all right now. Like I said, that Rampage is just used for just opportunity. If if you watch it, you can. It's just used for opportunities right now. Or if it was really pushed as to where it was, if it was like if Rampage was just like Dynamite, then it would just. I mean, it still would be lower. He's really put like going over the bars, and he really push. He really sounds like idiotic right here. Like, well, what have they changed? What is he talking about? What has they changed? It's like, wow, like the shit like Jericho does. I don't know, or the talent AEW's talent does just for because Kenny is kind of in the same way, just like the Bucks too. Like they talk the biggest shit, but yeah, where's the backup? Where's the backup of you? Well, supporting your claim. Like, what he says that yeah, nobody's talking. Nobody's really talking about if they change the industry, then you would have the global world. Like, what is he talking about? Yeah, it's like this is why I say I don't. That's why I'm not on any side because like just stirring up shit and just if you want to talk the shit, at least back up the walk. Like I said, just like I was saying now, I've been liking the product as far as AEW's like Dynamite and not really Rampage because I found out too that it's taped. So just finding out I really don't like that, and it's just used for opportunity basis, just to who's ever not pushed on Dynamite. But that all changes when they're moved to TPS or whichever show they're gonna move to TBS. But like this mindset, bro. Like what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like what have you changed? What are y'all changing? Yeah, sorry about that. What is he talking about? Can y'all ask for me to stay point? Like first he says they drew 20K in New York, which is basically WWE's backyard, when they drew 10 times of that. And now he's saying like they changed the industry just by being like in existence. And different from any other wrestling company. Okay, if you want to say you're different from every other wrestling company, okay, I understand that. But when you try to what are you What have you changed? Nobody. I haven't heard one person. I haven't come across one person in IRL or just heard from a conversation solely. Like everywhere, like the gym or a restaurant. Just being outside, like I haven't heard anywhere to AEW. It's just not me shitting on what he says or getting like, he sounds just like the idiotic, fucking dumbastic stands on Twitter. Like, what is he talking about? Like, yeah, that's why, like I said, like I don't understand what he's talking about. Like, what are you talking about, Jericho? What have you changed? Nobody's talking about you. Nobody's really talking about AEW besides the focal wrestling community. You're not on ESPN. You're not on. They're not on ESPN. They're not on the Sports Center. They're not really anywhere. Like, what is he talking about? Like shit really does shit like this really does. Bogs against my brain because he just sounds just like the idiotic stands that have no type of mindset other than we're getting all the views, that's all that really matters, we're on top, it doesn't matter. Like I don't understand his mindset. I really don't. Like, what have y'all changed other than just being a wrestling promotion that anybody pretty much half of the wrestling community can get behind and appreciate, but Yeah, like what have he like? This is just clearly just he's just saying this to appease Tony. Like I don't understand. Like what are you really talking about? That's completely retarded. That's completely stupid. Like completely stupid. Then he says like yeah, he basically talking about what it was like to work in Arthur Ashe Stadium. He explained why it was a great move to perform in that area as opposed to Madison Square Garden. Let me see right here. Wait a minute. He's talking about there's never been a wrestling show at Arthur. I don't know if it really does matter because there's been pretty much wrestling everywhere. So I don't really, as far as to what point is he trying to make? Yeah, like who says there? Like when he's basically like when he was like dogging like when WWE go even if they go to New York, they've done better even a live or a virtual audience. They've done bigger and much greater in the views. Even the lowest point that they are right now from a wrestling aspect and everything storyline characters. Like I don't understand. Like what is he talking about? Like I said, he just be saying this to fuel up and just cake on of the more like like the really toxic ignorant mindset of just to like he just probably really just like feeling Tony, man. Like I don't really get what he's saying when he's like saying when they do better in New York and they pretty much like doing better than WWE at this point. Okay, like yeah, like I said, like they actually have some good like good quality content because I can say that I'll say that too. Like doing much outside of Roman Reigns, they're clearly better in that when it comes to WWE. But in the views and in the views, no. Or like just do like changing anything. Like I don't, yeah. Like what is he talking about, man? Like what is he talking about? Oh yeah, and now he's saying like if they'll basically their most favorite, their like author Ashton, loves them. Like I said, like these still apparently these articles saying that they outsell WWE at Madison Square. Like, come on, man, that's an obvious joke. Like, come on now. Like when I guarantee you when you go to look up WWE events and like just like really all over United States and they've done to 60 to 80K in live audience and even more in live audience. I don't like I said I don't get he can probably just be fueling Tony's ego. Like I don't. Sorry, I'm just like that because I'm just trying to understand this like like what is like he's talking about. And they haven't changed anything besides bringing Punk back. Like I said, I like what Jericho's doing now, and how he's just putting himself more into because he's on he's because he just well in actuality just from the look of it been this way the whole while. Yeah, like even though like the last like back in August SummerSlam, like they've had they've had like all these like WWE does more than that. They like got 50K. When SummerSlam back in August they had 50K. like like what the fuck is he talking about? Doing bigger numbers in New York. What are you talking about? No, you don't. No, y'all don't. Y'all don't get bigger numbers than WWE. Like I would have actually been behind them if they actually because they like I said they might bite the bark and it might punches they asses right in the mouth back because they're not doing when it comes to the viewership and much more bigger sales. They're not doing better than them. They're not. Like I said, so I don't know what he's talking and when he's talking about changing the sport when they haven't done anything besides bring Punk back. I guess if you want to say call that monumental, then like just wow, just absolutely wow. Like they even when they have their live events, they do 50 to over 80K in live audience, and you already know they do millions in virtual views. Like come on now, come on Jericho. Even if it was like he just sounds really like completely retarded. Like what the fuck is he talking about? But okay, yeah, that's it. Because I wanted to speak on this actuality, and I've been waiting, and I wanted to talk about Jericho. I actually probably do a video on him too, because this looks completely fucking stupid. But you know, I'll see y'all later. You know, tomorrow. Yeah, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. That's it. Enjoy your night. Yeah, stay blessed.